Hello, welcome back to Income Overseas. My name is Hannah, and on today's tutorial would be practicalizing or showing the practical demonstration for what we did last in the last video in the cookbook series, which was the content generation and prompting video. Where is it? Yeah, leveraging AI for cookbook content creation. ChatGPT strategies for Amazon KDP. You can see it here, this very video here. So today, this is the part two of the cookbook series, this very one. And then today we are heading over to the part three, which will be the practical demonstration of on how to use ChatGPT to generate unique content for your cookbook. Right? Prompting is very important in generating your cookbook content. So if you're just joining us for the first time on this channel, you're highly welcome. It's good to have you here. Please do subscribe to Income Overseas, as this channel is dedicated to giving you tips and strategies on how to be successful in your Amazon KDP journey. And if you're a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for always tuning in and for your support. If you're yet to join our WhatsApp community of authors, where we do questions and answer and share tips on KDP success, then I implore you to do so. The link will be in the comment section of this video or any other video you will be watching. Right, so let's get right into the business of today. So we head over to ChatGPT, but before then, I'd come up with a prompt I will use. Yeah, so before we use this prompt, let me quickly explain something. So the first thing you want to do is getting the topic. Once you get a topic via your research process that was taught in the pattern of this video, the next thing you want to do is to get content for your cookbook, and this video is dedicated to content creation only. We have a video prior to this on content creation, but maybe this one will be a little bit different because we utilizing the GPT-4 here. Right, this is actually GPT-4o, the one that was recently launched by the GPT. So it's almost the same thing with the GPT-4. Just a minute, let me put this one, do not disturb. Yeah, so it's almost the same thing with the GPT-4, just that this model is just is fast. You know, the GPT 3.5 is fast but not so smart. GPT-4 is smart but not so fast. But this one is a combination of the GPT 3.5 and 4 features, fast and smart. So it's just an advanced model. So you can use either of these for either 4 or 4.40 for this tutorial. So I'm using this for GPT-4 because most of the members in the community agreed to get a subscription for their content creation for cookbook. So I'm doing this training for that purpose. So that means we'll be utilizing GPT-4 or 4.0. Yeah. The first thing you want to do is to get a topic, like I said, and then we have the prompt. We have a prompt we initially shared in this previous videos. If you haven't yet, you can get the prompt in the previous video on content generation with cookbook. Just go about 6 videos before this. Yeah, no, 6, the video before the book cover series. Yes, so most of the prompts are there to get your content and table of content, the outline and everything. But we'll be heading over to generating your book description, right? Book them cookbook description, where a lot of people go wrong. You know, most descriptions are very generic, and you can easily tell those when you see them, because most of the time you start with welcome to whatever niche you're writing about, whatever cookbook you're writing about, and then you can easily just see 2 to 3 people's cookbook and tell where the description or what tool they used. So just to avoid that generic content kind of. So I said you have to be creative with your prompting. You have to add in your personal anecdote. You have to add in stories or experiences that can make your content stand out and not be generic with what every other person is doing. So you can see in this document I have here, I have a prompt I used. This is not just my, I don't have a particular prompt. I just usually go with the flow, right? But I did this prompt just a couple of minutes ago before starting this video, so we could use it for the purpose of this tutorial. Yeah, you can see the generic prompt and introduction. So in this prompt, we use a topic, the bold barbecue sauce and rub cookbook, right? You can see the generic prompt, introduction kind of that you usually get from ChatGPT. You can say, welcome to the bold barbecue sauce and rub cookbook, where you will discover 30 fantastic recipes to elevate your grilling game. Whether you're a seasoned grill master or just starting, this cookbook is packed with delicious. So you see the generic welcome to kind of the title. You welcome to the title where you discover. These are just generic kind of introduction. But when I used these prompts, right, with the same topic, you can see the prompt, write a creative introduction for my cookbook. The title you put in there, you can always switch this title, you can always replace with your own title. I'll be sharing this document, yes, with everyone in the community, so you can just feel free to change the title. Say that includes a personal anecdote or story related to the theme of the book. Yes, because you don't know which book. So today I'm using this very topic. Then tomorrow you may decide to use another topic. So I don't want to personalize this prompt to a particular topic or a niche. You get, so you can see personal anecdote or story related to the theme of the book. The introduction should be engaging and connect with the reader on an emotional level. Mention specific memories, experiences, or inspiration that led to the creation of the cookbook. Ensure the tone is warm and inviting. All these details is very important. The more details you make your prompt, detailed your prompt is, the better your output will be, right? To embark on a culinary journey, you can take this embark off and probably use anything that works for you with a close friend. Avoid generic statements and focus on unique details that make the introduction stand out. So I use this prompt to get this um introduction. Welcome fellow barbecue sisters. This is not necessary, but I just left it there just so you can know that most of the time it comes with this unnecessary first line that you can take off and you can try to leave also. So but look at where the magic comes. The story. There's a personal story to this thing. It makes the introduction up with a story. Because I remember the first time I truly experienced the magic of barbecue. It was a sweltering summer afternoon, and aroma of smoky ribs, whatever. You can see how this imputed a story into the introduction and makes it so just to stand out. Two people cannot have the same story. If you are very creative with your prompting, two people can have the same story, right? So if you don't have a personal story yourself, you just with this prompt, the AI will give you come up with a story for you, all right, and used to get the introduction. You can see watching him was captivated and just the touch. Years later, when I decided to venture into the world of barbecue sauce, so this is just narrating a story backdrop, like her experience and how it's linked up to her creating this this oh my god, what am I saying, this cookbook now. Yeah, so in the end, you're not going to, in the title of the cookbook, you will find 30 recipes. Instead of starting with this now, you put in a touch of personal touch to it, right? Just to connect and calm the invite the reader to continue to be, you captivate them, right? And hold their attention. So when you finish, you say, so grab your tongue, and this is just the finishing and the normal thing. So I use this same prompt now and tried it on another AI that I recently started to explore within the week, and I wanted to know if it's actually better than GPT. But then I realized that while it can be more creative at times, it has limitations of probably short messages. There are short messages. Before you know it, especially the free plan, you quickly exhaust your your messages or your credits, right, to generate content. And even on the pro version, it's limited to 45 messages per 5 hours, which can be I don't think that is enough, right? Yeah, I know GPT 3.4.5 also has that limitation of 40 messages per 3 hours, but you can see it's better 40 messages per 3 hours compared to 45 messages per 5 hours. And another thing is that after 3 hours, you can quickly just get more credit after a couple of hours on GPT. Unlike this one, where you wait for a longer time to get more credit, and that is, I think, that is not so good enough. So I would not personally recommend this AI. But then all I suggest is, if you're having GPT for subscription, you don't have to subscribe for Claude AI. What you should do is just use the free plan. You can use the free plan to generate your introduction for that cookbook, and then go ahead to GPT to continue writing and your recipe section, because this one can be more creative in the introduction aspect of your writing, your book. Then, but the recipe sections are usually, the instructions are usually short. After ingredient, you have instruction, preparation instruction. It is usually short, probably 3 to 5, unlike GPT, which is more detailed, probably to 5, 7, 9 at times. So I personally would recommend that you can use, of course, you can explore, if you like, if you prefer the writing tone or style, you can use Claude AI to generate your introduction and the major part of your the main sections of your cookbook, maybe the educational sections, right? The educating, the places where you have your basic information about the cookbook. And when you get to the content generation for your recipe section, then you go over to your GPT-4 and continue. Then your conclusion also can just be done on this Claude AI, because I noticed the conclusion is also more creative, kind of, can compared to GPT-4, right? So just stick to the free plan, and probably you can just do a few messages. I think we have like, I don't know if it's up to 7 messages for the free plan, and then till in the next 5 hours again, which is very annoying, honestly. So you can compare this introduction gathering around the grill was, you can see that it is more, it's not so, it's not reading like a fiction compared to this one, right? So I won't read this in details. I will share this document for you to analyze yourself and let me know in the community which one you think is quite better, right? Which one is more natural and which one you think is quite creative, more creative. So I'll just leave that to you. But now let's see what happens with this prompt if you change the title of the cookbook. So let's go over to GPT and paste this prompt. But now we want to also use a new title. So I put in some titles. These are just generic titles I got from ChatGPT, no research at all, just for the purpose of this tutorial. So you just copy this: the vegan comfort food cookbook, 30 plant-based recipes for cozy evenings. So I go over to ChatGPT and I replace the current title with this new one, and just come over here, do this, and I paste it. So you can see. So let's send in this prompt now and see what we get. It's taking time. I don't know why it's taking time. If it's network or it's just the server. Okay, it's generating. Maybe it's thinking. Yes. So let's see. There's something magical about the cozy evening at home, when the world outside fades away and the kitchen becomes a sanctuary of warmth and comfort. For magic, for me, this magic often starts with a simple ritual. And it's almost reading like magical kind of fiction story. I remember one winter evening. It can be funny at times. When this is what happens when you're using ChatGPT kind of story. If you're not inputting your own personal story or your personal anecdote, it can be funny. So let's take this prompt. Let's go and see what happens in Claude AI with this same prompt. Claude. Okay, so let's do this. Let's run this other one. There's a tattered egg stained cookbook that sits proudly on my kitchen shelf. It dust jacket is long gone, and its pages are held together with rubber bands. But I still feel I prefer this version. It's not so robotic. What do you think? It's not mystical. Not these mystical stories, not these magical kind of fiction stories. So let me know what you think. This AIs can be funny. Well, I personally think you can come up with your own, just come up with a story and make it more natural because these ones can be funny. Yeah, I can't think of any now because usually it works with, you have to do with inspiration. I don't have the inspiration, I get to work. But honestly now I don't have inspiration to write anything or to be creative with any book. Right. So I'm just here showing you my own process of brainstorming and coming up with good content that does not look so generic and or read so generic and robotic. Then another thing you can do is to let's see this artisan bread making. Another thing you can do is to manually paraphrase by adding your own touch to that whatever you get. So let's see this prompt now and change the title again. Um yes, and send it. So these are ways you can just be a little bit more creative to so that your output can stand out compared to the generic ones out there. There's a particular charm. Let me caution this AI and I don't know what's going on with it. What is charm? Can be funny at times. So let's see what happens this time around. Let's see. There's something uniquely comforting about the smell of freshly baked. Yeah, this is much better. So I think this is really more natural than the initial version. You can see there's something uniquely comforting about. So for me it takes me to back to Sunday afternoons in my grandmother's kitchen. She was a true artisan in our family. So you can see I think there's a bit of a little bit different. So you can just keep fine tuning and fine tuning. You can just say this is better. Or let's say this is fine. But you can make it better. So let's see. So just keep fine tuning and fine tuning and fine tuning until yes. It's almost doing the same. I like. Sorry, I don't want to read through because it will take a lot of time to do that. So you have the prompt now. I'll be sharing it in the community. You just use this prompt to keep experimenting until you find what works for you. When you find what works for you, then you can use it for generating your introductions. So the moment you finish getting an introduction that fits what you're expecting or your expectation, then you can proceed to the other section or the other part of your cookbook based on your outline, which is likely going to be about the topic. Let's say if you're writing about um what did you write about first? Barbecue. Write a brief about barbecue rubs and the basic tools they will need to be successful, some ingredients they will need in that journey of or in the journey of the cookbook, right? Recipes and everything they will need, measurement and everything. And the next thing you need to now go to is based on the structure you have will be recipe your recipe sections, which we also have a prompt. The prompt was initially shared in the community. And also, okay, yes, the link to the prompt is also in our previous videos in the content generation mm, series, right? So you go ahead and get your recipes. I won't be doing that because already we did that, so it's just me doing repetition. If I'm doing it here, it's not necessary. The way you get them, what you want to do now. So I noticed a lot of people are very interested in paraphrasing and checking for plagiarism, which is very important. It's good. So one thing I just found out yesterday was while I was experimenting with this GPT 4.0 is that you can use it to paraphrase your content, especially your recipe section, the ingredient and introduction instruction section and preparation instruction. You can actually use it to paraphrase, and then it will take out the plagiarism from that content. I'm sure that it can also paraphrase introduction and any part of your cookbook, right? But the most difficult and exhausting parts of your cookbook to perfect is the recipe section, because most of these tools like QuickBooks does not do it well. If you have, like, let's say you have 1 tablespoon of, they will now spell out one when you're paraphrasing, which you don't want. So the best way to get this done is to use this GPT 4.0. If you're on the GPT Pro plan, use the GPT 4.0 to paraphrase, right? To paraphrase your recipes. And I'm sure I used it yesterday and I checked for plagiarism, and it was 100% original content and no plagiarism. So this trick will help you also in paraphrasing, so you don't have to go outside of this tool, of this GPT. You don't have to go to Quibo to go and paraphrase. But that's if it works for you. It worked for me yesterday. I don't know if it will work for everybody. So just try what works for you and stick to it. So I think these are the basic, most important parts to take note of when generating your cookbook content. Yes, I'm not generating a full cookbook for it. Probably in the next section of this, the next part of this um series, I may eventually just do a demonstration to generate a full cookbook, which can be time consuming, honestly, because I've even done it before. So I just believe that that one will do justice, not to necessarily waste time. If you think you still need a tutorial on cookbook content generation from start to finish, that is type of content and everything, generating them from beginning to conclusion, let me know, because I honestly want to just proceed with an already generated cookbook. Then I will just proceed to the parts of um formatting aspect of it, right? So I think we should just proceed to the formatting aspect of it. With this you have just heard, you can help you generate your cookbook, and then in addition to the previous video we had on generation of cookbook with GPT. So I'll just proceed to the next part, which will be formatting. So I think I'll be going in details on that formatting, right? So that especially with those with using phone, or yes, most those using phone, because that is where the challenge is mostly, because you have a small screen, you are struggling to see your document and everything. So we'll just run it through again, and I will do table of contents um part of it to insert type of content using my phone. So I'll be doing that recording with my iPhone so that I can show you how to insert table of content. But if you're using an Android phone, you may not find that feature on the app. You may have to go to web and view on desktop mode, which can be stressful at times. So just find a way around that, or use a system, a laptop, pardon me. So let me know what you think. You think we just proceed to formatting, and so that we can save time? What do you think? I would like to hear in the comment section what you think. So thank you so much for joining this particular short demonstration of prompting and getting cookbook content, especially the introductory part of your cookbook. And see you in the next one. Before then, until then, I'll just drop your comments so I can go through them and to help me know what to do next. If you have not joined the community yet, please try to join the community so that you can, if you have questions, we can just discuss it there. And probably most of the resources that don't make it to this channel will be shared in the community. So thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you find it helpful, subscribe if you are yet to, and share with your family and friends. See you in the next video tutorial. I mean Hannah.